top5rapwebsite.com. You already know what's going on. If you watched the Joe Budden podcast, you will remember him a couple weeks ago on his Provocateur episode responding to my "Is Joe Budden a GOAT, a greatest of all time" video.
I was reading one of these stupid little fucking bloggity blog kids.
That's me!
While I was in some YouTube rabbit hole, I saw a 20-year-old kid doing a deep dive on what he thought my greatest to worst albums were.
What did he come up with?
A 20-year-old?
Oh, I'd like to hear that.
He was 20. Well, what he was debating with himself was, is Joe Budden a top 10 MC? And what he was saying was, top 10 media guy, top 10 podcaster, or great podcast, all of that shit I'm rolling with. He has changed the landscape.
All-time great podcaster in hip-hop, yes. All-time great media figure in hip-hop, yes.
But when it comes to rap, he doesn't have the catalog for me to put him there.
Joe Budden is not a guy who has a really great discography.
And I respect that. I just don't respect it from a 20-year-old when he follows it with ranking my albums, which led me to, why am I watching this fucking 20-year-old rank my album? I'll rank my shit.
What was his rank?
Yeah, I'd like to hear his
At least
rankings.
one was like top 3 or something.
Did he do everything? Or
No, he
albums,
said his point was, and he was correct, mind you. He said a lot of Joe's music, poorly mixed. You can't even listen to it today.
The mixing is just pretty poor, you know. It's not really something you can play nowadays.
Yes, that's right.
Fair.
He said that's what takes away from. So I get that. So he's like, yo, Moon Music 2 is arguably his best work, and it's mixed horribly. I can't listen to it. Same with Moon Music 3. Moon Music 4, shit got mixed a little better.
Moon Music 4, which is the best one to me, largely because it's actually mixed and mastered with some effort.
But because of these reasons, I cannot put Joe in any real rapper conversation, and I respect that.
And I think
but I'm gonna rank my own shit. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna listen to 20-year-olds do it.
You know, he didn't have too many nice things to say about it. Well, actually, he pretty much agreed with everything I said. Basically, me saying Joe Budden's music is really unmixed. He wasn't one of the top tier MCs of his generation, because we can just name 5, 6, 7 guys just off the top of our head. Beanie Siegel, Fabulous, DMX, Mos Def, Jay-Z, Nas. We can just keep rattling off guys who are just as good, if not better, MCs, and who have better discographies, and whose music is mixed, even being in that era. So he pretty much agreed with my points, but he just shitted on me for being in my 20s. Well, he called me a 20-year-old, you know. I'm not 20 years old, but I am in my 20s. As if that doesn't make my opinion stick. He has a guy in his 20s on his podcast. So because of that, we are on to my next video, which is top 5 times Joe Budden has been smoked on wax. Again, I just like to stop this revisionist history that happens. Joe Budden is a big media figure now, so ever since his podcast has really took off, like 2017, 2016-ish, there has been some times where it's just like, I don't think you remember like your career the same way I do. It's like, I don't ever remember you being like this great MC. Guy can rap and that's it. So it got me thinking, has Joe Budden ever won a beef? Joe Budden is the guy that's been in a lot of rap beefs. Has he ever won one of those rap beefs? And I'm gonna just keep it on music here. We aren't gonna mention like the beefs with Wu-Tang Clan and with Ransom, where the beef ended with physical things happening. That's not my pocket. I'm more music focused, so I'm just gonna focus on the musical times that he's taken losses on wax. Number 1, Hollow Da Don. So you guys will remember this. This was kind of recent. Total Slaughter. This is a battle rap venue. Joe Budden was going into battle rap. So to his credit, he was going into Hollow Da Don's territory, which is battle rap. Hollow Da Don does this as a career. You know, Joe Budden is more of a guy that records. But you'll remember this battle. Hollow Da Don was really sticking it to him. Joe Budden was doing well, really sticking it to him. But there came a point in the battle where Hollow Da Don started talking about Joe Budden's physical abuse allegations with Tahiri.
With Tahiri, the way he be treating her, spreading the business on social media, even beating her, my nigga. Yo, stop my clock, my nigga, real rap. You ever hit a woman in your life, I'll fuck you up, you faggot. Do that shit in front of me, you pussy. Beating on women, you bitch ass nigga. You a faggot, nigga. You hit a woman, I'll fuck you up, you faggot. Start my time.
And after that, Joe Budden just kind of declined. The crowd was so into it, like they are in battle rap, and Joe Budden was taking so much heat. He had home field advantage. This is Total Slaughter. This is Slaughterhouse's event, so he has home field advantage. But it just got so bad for him. He put the mic down and refused to rap until the crowd stopped booing him.
Make sure it never make a sound. Better ask about my I'm not gonna rap. I'm not gonna rap. Check this out. If y'all keep booing, I will stop rapping completely.
Eminem ain't gonna like that. You put the mic down, you don't wanna fight back. You acting like a bitch once again, I'ma strike back. You acting like a bitch again, my nigga.
It's like, bro, this is battle rap. Like, this happens in battle rap. Follow the Don took that victory, and it was sad to see Joe go out like that because he was doing pretty good in the battle up until a certain point. Then, I mean, Hollow just separated. That separation came. Number 2, Lil B. So you all might remember this. I remember this day on Twitter. This is when Lil B, he kind of first came out as a solo artist. He was considered a laughing stock by a lot of people, so certain people just felt like they can go and pick on Lil B. Lil B had also got punched on camera around that time, so I guess people just felt like they can go and pick on Lil B, and Joe Budden tried doing that same thing. But Lil B said, no, Dikembe Mutombo, no. They were going back and forth on Twitter, and then literally, bro, within hours, Lil B drops his diss track, T-shirt and buttons.
Hey Joe Budden, you a motherfucking joke. I'm hip-hop, rawest rapper alive. T-shirt and buttons, this a fucking warning shot. Rap niggas wanna talk, I leave with your jaw drop.
Where he just digs into Joe Budden, and the sad part is Lil B kind of being like a gimmick rapper. This is the first time that a lot of people realize, like, okay, Lil B has some bars somewhat.
Lil B for Lil Boss, big talk, get your head cracked. I'm from the hood, niggas terrorists with no head wraps.
And it just sucks it has to happen to you, like when you're being dissed. It was a complete freestyle, you can tell, and it literally happened hours after their riff on Twitter. So you know Lil B just jumped in the booth. This is a real hip-hop thing to do. Lil B took aim at Joe Budden's career, saying his Joe Budden TV at the time was saving him. Joe Budden recording his model-type girlfriends.
Recording all your bitches, you a motherfucking pervert. Joe Budden TV, Joe Bitch TV. Rap like Saran Wrap, your model bitch saved you. Put them on the internet, cause don't nobody play you.
He's taking shots at his underground career.
Performing at cafes, you're still underground. How you go mainstream and run back underground? Joe Budden, you're a clown.
Overall, it was a very shocking thing to see as a hip-hop fan because Lil B kept it hip-hop. He jumped off Twitter and then hours later came back with this, and it sounded pretty decent. Joe Budden did not reply to this song. There was no response to this record. And when you think about it, how can you respond to this? Are you gonna go and now diss Lil B, a person that we all consider a gimmick rapper? What if the diss is not as good? And even if it is as good, how does this look to you? How does this look on you? The L was already received once Lil B decided he was going to jump in the booth. That was a very funny moment on Twitter, and Lil B definitely got him right there.
Joe Budden, man, you can suck my fucking dick and tell the whole world you got murdered by a pretty bitch. Hey Joe Budden, and I bet you're not gonna say shit. I eat your ass.
Number 3, The Game. So this is one of my favorite Game songs, period. Buttons.
We got a problem, Houston.
It's a rendition of Ice Cube's Colors. You guys will remember how that song went. Colors, 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 colors. This one goes buttons, buttons,
Buttons, buttons, buttons, buttons.
And I think this song is the reason why people still mistakenly call Joe Budden Joe Buddens to this day. They got that extra S on his name, and I think this song is the reason. So I guess Joe Budden was taking shots at G-Unit. Game was still on G-Unit at the time. So Game, being a guy who's also very well seasoned in beefs, probably has a lot more wins in his beef than Joe Budden does, decided, hey, I'm taking this personal and I'm going at Joe Budden.
You had Pump It Up, that was a cool song. You only sold 10 records, nigga, now move on. Talking about you got ratchets and tools on when you was at the All-Star game with no jewels on. I can't believe I gave you that. With the 45 on me, I should've gave you that. Pistol with you, laid you flat. Jump off buttons, nah, disgrace to a Yankee hat.
What did he say? You was at the All-Star game with no jewels on? I can't believe I gave you that. The 45 on me, should've gave you that. Pistol whipped you, laid you flat. Jump off Joe Budden? Nah, disgrace to a Yankee hat? Whoa. And then he had this little skit at the end where he goes around New Jersey and New York asking people if they're feeling Joe Budden's music, and they're just all like, no.
Ask niggas in Jersey if they like your shit. They was like, no.
Very, very salient, this song. I even think I remember hearing this on radio a few times in Southern California. Joe Budden recorded a response called Game Over. He said something like, you ain't Jigga, you ain't Ice Cube or Easy. I do believe me. It just wasn't as good. Number 4, Drake. So again, this one is also pretty recent, and I know Joe Budden recorded a whole bunch of string of songs dissing Drake, like 3, 4, 5 in a row probably, but it just wasn't as salient as Drake on No Shopping, as Drake on 4 p.m. in Calabasas. So you remember on Joe Budden's podcast, he had this theory that 4 p.m. in Calabasas, like every bar was about him. And he kind of went nuts on his podcast, like, no, this one's about me, this is about me, this bar's about me. Without Drake ever even mentioning Joe Budden in the song, or even really acknowledging it. So all those songs that Joe Budden recorded, dissing Drake, but the one bar that we're gonna remember the most is from Drake, who again has never mentioned Joe Budden directly, never came out with "This is Joe Budden diss track" like he has for Pusha T on a Duppy Freestyle, or etc, etc. The bars you remember most: pump, pump, pump it up. She got a good head on her, but I pump it up. I'm not a one-hit wonder. They all know my stuff. You let me turn into the nigga that you almost was. So he said, so Pump It Up obviously is a reference to Joe Budden. I'm not a one-hit wonder. They all know my stuff. He's referencing Joe Budden's one hit, Pump It Up. It's a good song. I'm not mad at it. Shout out to Just Blaze. Then he said, you let me turn into the nigga that you almost was. So this is something Joe will say on his podcast. Like, hey, some rappers out here, they stole my steam. I was the original emotional, vulnerable rapper. And then these guys come in and take my shine. Drake is acknowledging Joe's gripes without even mentioning them. It's a subliminal, masterful subliminal. You let me turn into the nigga that you almost was. And number 5, Jay-Z. So this is kind of a situation where Jay-Z just low-boyed him. He kind of just low-boyed Joe Budden. Joe Budden was taking shots at Jay-Z. He had issues with Def Jam. Then Jay-Z just comes in and just takes that Pump It Up beat. Nigga, give me that, nigga. Takes the beat and records the hottest verse that we've ever heard anybody spit on that song, while also sending shots at Joe. What Ho say? I'm the Mike Jordan of the mic recording. It's Hovey, baby. You Kobe, maybe. Tracy McGrady. Called him Harold Miner. J.R. Ryder, washed up on marijuana. Subliminals, kind of like Drake did him. Kind of like Drake did Joe Budden. Lil Boyd him, took his beat. Like, this is Def Jam is me. Like, give me that beat. And matter of fact, let me record the hottest verse anybody's ever heard in this song. So yeah, has Joe Budden ever won a rap beef? I gave you top 5. Joe Budden has been in many other rap beefs. Has Joe Budden ever won a rap beef? Let me know. He has a high volume, but has he won any? So yeah, that's top 5 times Joe Budden has been smoked on wax. And this is top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.